National Nutrition Natural Health Reviews. 3 minutes of the latest naturopathic info with Canada's leading nutrition experts. Watch, learn, and get healthy naturally.
Hey there, naturopath Jonathan Beatty here, health expert at Nationalnutrition.ca. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about brain health and memory. Brain health is a huge topic. I could go on literally for days, so I'm going to try and keep it as concise as possible. Very important, as we age, we start to see increased what we call cognitive decline or increased cognitive deficit. What happens, it's not just always about memory loss, but it's a change in the way in which our brains can act. You start to see deficits in what we call arithmetic ability, our ability to perform calculations, deficits in what we call central processing speed, so the rate at which our brain can process thoughts, and then of course the classics, deficits in short and long-term memory, and lastly, deficits in coordination. All of these things are very important, especially for instance, coordination. If you're uncoordinated, you're more likely to have a fall, you're more likely to suffer a fracture, and that can be quite debilitating for people. So again, ensuring that our brains work well, it's more than just, remembering what you had for breakfast that day. It goes into every aspect of our daily life and really important for ensuring quality of life going on. So this is why I'm really big on brain health. Now, the brain. People used to think that once you damaged it, that was it, it never rebuilt itself. We've since learned that's not the case. In fact, the brain can heal. It's just that neurons take a long time to regenerate. So, you'll see a long delay between starting, say, a supplement or diet change and actually getting a clinical benefit. But those benefits have been shown, they do exist, and there's a lot we can do to help improve our neurological function. I'm really big on this. I do a lot of neurology in my practice. And so because of that, I like to teach people some of the simplest things they can do to ensure adequate brain function and prevent brain damage over time. Typically, brain damage occurs because of intoxication. In fact, one of the #1 causes of developmental delay in children in Canada to this day is still lead intoxication or lead poisoning. It can sometimes be in the drinking water, it can be in paint in older homes, it can be in pipes in older homes. There's a variety of ways you can get exposed, but these intoxicants can actually damage the way the brain works. So one of the things I often do is test people make sure they're not intoxicated, and if they are, we take appropriate steps to remove that toxin, because otherwise it's going to continue to create damage and continue to cause deterioration of the brain. Now, once that's been ruled out, it's time to rebuild the brain. So you got to figure out, okay, what are the nutrients the brain needs? There are some important ones. Cholesterol. I know, it's the big C word, the big no-no word. In brain health, it's extraordinarily important. 25% of the weight of your brain is cholesterol. So I do actually recommend in people that have neurological decline to start eating a higher fat diet and actually intake cholesterol. We're starting to see now with some of the cholesterol lowering medications, the potential for cognitive deficit being a side effect of long-term use of those medications. And again, because it's impairing our body's natural ability to produce cholesterol, which is actually needed by the brain. The other one is your omega-3 fatty acids, specifically something called DHA or docosahexaenoic acid. This is the fat we often refer to as fish oil. Vegans, vegetarians, don't panic. There's an algae source available for you now. So it is possible from a vegetarian source or a vegan source to obtain this DHA. It just tends to take a little bit more supplementation in order to maintain adequacy. Humans as a species, we're very poor at creating this fat. That's why we typically do need it in our diet. And typically the easiest way to get that is through the consumption of fish products and fish oils. However, there are vegetarian sources, so don't worry, you can absolutely maintain adequacy of this nutrient. Why is it so important? Well, as cholesterol is 25% of your brain, DHA itself, that one fat, is about 22% of the weight of your brain. So again, here you're looking at almost half of your brain being made up of cholesterol and DHA, two very important nutrients to ensure brain health. Other things, why is the brain getting damaged in the first place? Usually it's due to things called pro-oxidants. They create what we call oxidative damage, This disrupts the membrane and disrupts the normal function of the neurons. So one of the things we need to do is address that by using antioxidants. Some of the antioxidants I really love for brain and nerve health: astaxanthin. It's an extremely stable carotenoid. It does not become a pro-oxidant like some carotenoids can, and it's actually one of the most powerful antioxidants we know that is fat soluble. Why is it important that it's fat soluble? Because the brain is a big blob of fat essentially. And you want to target your antioxidant to actually be able to absorb into that fat so it can provide an antioxidant effect in a fat environment. A lot of the antioxidants we take in are water soluble, which is helpful for other tissues in the body, but they don't affect the brain as efficiently. So therefore, taking in fat soluble antioxidants is incredibly important. We've seen great evidence of blueberry actually being protective for the brain. So I recommend people to eat lots of blueberries. If you can't eat blueberries all the time, don't worry. There are supplements available that have been shown to be as effective as consuming blueberries for your cognitive health. Okay, so blueberries, DHA from fish oils or from a vegetarian source, cholesterol, really important nutrients to ensure the brain is functioning properly. And then astaxanthin, again, very strong antioxidant, help prevent that damage that's leading to the development of that memory loss. Lastly, one of my favorite herbs for the brain, something called Bacopa monnieri, sometimes known as Brahmi in Ayurvedic medicine. This herb, very, very, very important. It's great, and one of the things I really like about it, it's been shown to help with memory in people with both some sort of cognitive deficit. But here's the kicker: very few things have ever been shown to improve memory function in healthy people, and Bacopa monnieri has actually been shown to do this. So I like recommending it to people both who have some level of cognitive decline, but also to family members of people with cognitive decline, because they're at a higher risk of developing it themselves. And the key is protection and prevention. If you can protect your brain and prevent that deficit, it's like they always say, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So in summary, make sure you're focusing on adequate nutrients, adequate intake of antioxidants. Another thing that I overlooked, actually make sure you exercise your brain. Do brain games. If you like Sudoku, do Sudoku. Don't just focus on one though, mix it up. Doing things in 3 dimensions is very helpful. Doing a variety of word and mathematics games is very helpful at ensuring adequate brain function and preventing cognitive deficit. So exercising your brain is important. Make sure you feed it properly and make sure it gets the nutrients it needs to rebuild. And then take things that help prevent the damage in the first place. And by doing that, you can ensure normal brain health. So check out more of our natural health videos, subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, please post them below. And always remember, knowledge is health.